Morning. Good morning. Fresh out the shower, breakfast in the oven, and I'm getting my skincare on because I could see and feel a big difference in my makeup, see and feel a big difference in how I feel, how my skin feels to the touch. So, day 2 of steaming in a row. I love to do that because it helps to hydrate the skin. I'm using this steamer, which when you open it up, there I have a towel in here warming. I absolutely love this. I use it even when I'm like feeling a little under the weather because it's a humidifier, towel warmer, and facial spa all in one. Very affordable. Um, I am the facial steamer queen. I am all about uh, keeping moisture in the air, especially I live in what's called the frozen tundra, Wisconsin, so it gets really cold and dry here in the winter. And I don't live with forced heat, so I have radiator heat, so it doesn't get as dry in here. But I still like to have humidifier steamer going in the winter months when the air is cooler and drier to keep the skin moisturized. It is a top anti-aging hack is to sleep with your humidifier on. Okay. It's also good if you have sinus problems and, nasal and breathing issues also. So come on in. Let me know where you are watching from. Say hello. Tell me your favorite skincare hack. I would love to hear your favorite skincare hack. I am a firm believer in get paid to exist. I don't know if you can see the steam yet, but I got two steamers pointed at me. Two steamers pointed at me. This one, the newer version, is in my showcase. I don't think I added it to this video. You can check out the other steamer um, with the towel warmer that is added. That is in the orange cart below. These things, I swear they have helped me when people were wearing masks and all that. When I would go out in public, I would come home and immediately steam, immediately have some hot herbal tea. And it took 4+ years before I came down with the vid. And even when I did, it was a very mild case, thank goodness. Now I did get the jab eventually because I have a brother that we can't afford to get sick. So um, I still very much through my nutrition, through herbalism, through holistic means, did everything I could to inoculate that way, if that makes sense. So the steamer is a huge, huge thing. I recommend doing a steamer multiple times out of the week. I actually have on a 3-in-1 cleanser as a mask on my face right now. It's in the bathroom, but I have plenty of videos I can send to you if you want questions on that. It's not available through the shop, but I can give you information. It is a cream cleanser. I absolutely love it. It's a 3-in-1. It's very conditioning to the skin, which is why I like to steam with that on. Okay, so it's a cream cleanser. It's got hyaluronic acid in there. It's got these ceramides and things in there that are just really good in moisturizing and hydrating to the skin, because moisture and hydration are not the same thing. Okay, moisture is water, hydration is oil. Wait, no, hydration is water, moisture is oil. Okay, so an oil will seal in moisture. So hydration. So think about that. And hyaluronic acid is going to carry, you know, thousands of times its weight in water and bring it to the lower layers of the skin. So that's why I'm doing a really intense kind of like skin detox this week, where I am sitting with this cleanser on because it's a 3-in-1. It will remove your makeup so you can double cleanse with it. It's a cleanser and you can leave it on for 15-20 minutes as a mask. And when I do that, I do like to steam. So I am an affiliate, and that's why I say self-care generates revenue, right? But it doesn't just generate revenue by you being an affiliate, right? When you take better care of yourself, you are going to be more motivated, more inspired to show up for yourself, your clients, and your business. point blank period, end of discussion. um yeah, so I use bottled water, filtered water, distilled water. You don't want to use tap water. It will tell you that on the instructions in the box when you get the steamer. It will tell you not to use tap water in the steamer, because you don't know what's in your tap water. um, and that can impact the machine and make it break down. It also can impact how fast it heats up. And I learned that because I've broken a couple steamers because it heated up too fast and it broke and melted pieces of it, and then I had to buy new ones. So I've got them like at my parents' house, at my daughter's house. So anywhere at any time I can steam my face, because one of the things is y'all don't realize when people are talking to you face to face, all what's ever in their mouth is getting on your face. What's ever in the air, pollutants in the air and all kinds of stuff is getting on your face. And so that's why I like to steam and deep cleanse, and I don't go to bed with my makeup on. I'm 51 years old. I do not go to bed with my makeup on. I take my makeup off every night. Do I double cleanse every night? No. But I do not go to bed with my makeup on. I at least take a wipe and get as all of the makeup off. I keep wiping. Thank you for the love. I keep wiping until the wipe comes clean, right? So if I have to use multiple wipes, that makeup is coming off. And then I'm still going to throw on some little light moisturizer, because you want to make sure that you put moisture back into your skin. And speaking of wipes, um, I'll have to go get them, but the Herb Fantasy Box wipes are alkaline, right? They're more pH balanced, they're pH friendly. You want to be careful using baby wipes and things like that, because they might throw off the pH on your face. I know that sounds crazy. Let me know in the comments if that sounds crazy to you. If you didn't know that you could throw off the pH of your face. The pH of your face needs to be more acidic, not alkaline, and that's how you your body fights off different bacterias in that may land on your skin. Think about it, right? And so the pH of your face needs to be more acidic, in which I want to say the pH of your, and I'm not even going to guess. I want to say it's about a 7, but I'm not going to guess. That is what the pH of your skin should be. And I'm not an esthetician or anything like that. So when you're using different cleansers, they may strip your face and also take the pH so that it's more alkaline. And so then that's why you might need to use a toner or witch hazel to bring that pH back up. Same with different wipes. Now, the Her Fantasy Box wipes, those are universal. You can use those anywhere, your pits, your hoo ha, and everything, your face, right? But it's pH friendly. So it should not throw off the pH of your face. And so you can use a toner or witch hazel after using a wipe like that. But then also, I still like to, spray a botanical spray on there to put some more humectant back into the skin, and then a light moisturizer at night. I do not sleep in makeup. Do not recommend it. I know the young girls, I know y'all like to get y'all makeup done and wear it for days. I don't, that's weird to me. I would never, ever do that. That is so, because when you're sleeping on your pillow with that makeup on, you're transferring dirt and bacteria back and forth from the pillow to your face. And that's why it's important to go to bed with a clean face, with a cleansed face, and change your pillowcases. You should actually change your pillowcases more frequently than your sheets because of that. Okay? So we've got steam going. I like to get that extra hydration. That is a good, because they bake their face. Yeah, you can bake your face and still clean it every day though. I've baked my face too, but I'm not going to sleep with that on my face. And I'm not saying that like with an attitude with you, but like that's just one of the worst things you can do for your face. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is something my friends and I have been talking about for years. So steam your face, steam, steam, steam. And it's just a good way to just have that self care time, to just reflect and just really take care of yourself. This cleanser, like, I'm loving the way my face is looking right now with the steam hitting it. And if you've not used warm towels when you cleanse your face, once you do it, you will always want to do it. You will always want to use a warm towel. Now, if I'm not at home and I'm not somewhere where I have a warm towel, I will actually throw the towel in the microwave for just a little bit, just to warm it up, because that is such a indulgent feeling when you use that warm towel on your face. Now, when you put it in the microwave, you want it to be damp, right? You don't want it to be super wet. You want to wring the as much water out and put it in the microwave for 10-20 seconds. Depends. Now, I use bamboo washcloths. I don't use really rough towels on my face, because that causes micro tears and can cause problems for your skin. So I use bamboo washcloths. If you want those, I can tell you where to get those. Otherwise, I'm sure they're on the Zon. I haven't looked for them on TikTok Shop. I can look for them there. But yeah, so self care, and remember, self care is not just makeup, skincare, and that, right? It's hydration. I start my morning with my morning cocktail, which is um, a hydration elixir of electrolytes, coconut water. It's got hyaluronic acid in there, and I drink that every morning because your skin should have a natural glow to it and glow from the inside out. And that is nutrition. So if you're drinking the henny hen and the Casa Amigos and all that, and not drinking enough water, if you're doing all the crab leg boils and that, but not getting enough greens and veggies, you want to figure out how to supplement and get that in. That's going to make a huge, huge difference, right? And I know it feels like, why do you need to do that at a younger age now? But trust me, by the time you get 45, you're going to feel the difference. You will feel the difference. And I was fortunate enough that the women in my family and growing up, I saw them take care of themselves. I saw them have a skincare practice. They were very good about hydration and water. They always yelled at us about not drinking enough water. They always, ate clean, whole foods more than they ate out. So the older I got, the more I leaned back to what I knew and saw my mother, my grandmother, my great aunties do, and I'm grateful for it. Now, I do have the under eye stuff, and I treat that. I'm out of eye masks, so I got to order more eye masks. So because those are great. And collagen, I swear by collagen. Collagen, right? Collagen is going to be great for your joints. Did you know that both hyaluronic acid, which is naturally occurring in the body, and collagen, you actually start to lose production of those as early as 19, 20, 21. So as you get to be my age, your body has really slowed down production of those, right? So that's why I like that the moisturizers in that I use have collagen in them, but I also ingest collagen daily, right? I also take the colostrum as well, because that's going to help with the skin and the youthful glow. Now, I haven't tried that new NAD stuff that everyone is talking about, but it is on my list. I am like in supplement city right now. I mean, I've got supplements going like crazy, but it works, right? It works. So you gotta hydrate the skin. Gotta hydrate the skin. So what y'all got going on today? Tell me about your morning routine. How do you start your day? I like to start mine nice and slow. So what do you guys do? Who's this? All right, so let's throw up some roses. I've got a goal of getting 3 roses in the next uh 15 minutes or so. So speaking of supplements, I do take a few things being 51. I've talked about the Happy Saffron Plus. This is not only going to give you mood support, it's going to help with memory, and it says sexual function. I don't have no problems. I ain't gonna lie, I don't have no problems. But I like it because I noticed that the flashes, the sweats, are a lot less frequent and intense. Though mine are still probably um, less intense compared to some other people I know. But yeah, I don't know why there it is. Love the steam. Makes such a difference, especially if you have sinus problems and migraines. So I notice the difference with just one of these a day, but you could take, I think it's 3 a day, 2 or 3 a day. How many are in here? So 90. So I have yet to take 3 a day. I take 1 to 2 a day, and that works for me. It's got zinc in there, which is, good for the formula, but also good for immunity. And it's got turmeric in there. Turmeric and collagen work really well together for joint health, right? And depending on what y'all doing and twerking in the club and stuff, you want to take care of them joints, okay? So Happy Saffron Plus, and it is a proprietary formula. Like they've got some patented ingredients in there. So I'm gonna fill up my water here again. This comes off really easy. I'm gonna move my laptop because I don't want no water getting on it. Twist off really easy. Just pour some water in here. This is just purified water. Sometimes you want to, if you run it multiple times like this through multiple things of water, you might want to turn it off and let it rest a little bit. But because you don't, like I said, you don't want it to get too hot. This one has a similar thing. It's bigger and it's on towel warmer, so it doesn't whatchamacallit, here, I'll open this. So you can see I've got a towel in there, and it's nice, and it'll be nice and warm when I'm ready for it. I recommend using tongs to get it out because it can be very, very hot to the touch, extremely hot to the touch. So yeah, so I haven't taken my Saffron Plus, so we'll take one of those out for this morning. Um, this Glucodefend, sugar cravings. Sugar is my downfall. Sugar is my vice. It's my whew, I love the sweet stuff. So this has Ceylon cinnamon, apple cider vinegar, turmeric, curcumin, berberine, and ginseng. So it's Glucodefend from Nutraceuticals. I love Nutraceuticals. They're clean, they're transparent, they tell you everything that's in there. And so I take 2 of those a day. So I'll take one. I cannot take like multiples of things at the same time. I have to be very careful. So, and this is called Calm Again. This is going to help you stay regulated in these crazy times. This is also from Clean Nutraceuticals. It's GABA, 5-HTA, 5-HTP, L-tryptophan, L-theanine, and ashwagandha. So it's going to help you stay nice and balanced, help you with focus, help you with brain fog. This is also great for brain fog and focus in that, because that when you're in perimenopause, which for some people starts in their late 30s, extreme cases, I've heard of people starting perimenopause in their late 20s, right? And things like brain fog, lack of concentration, lack of focus. Some of y'all think it's ADHD, and I'm not a clinician. I'm not diagnosing, but you might actually be experiencing perimenopause symptoms. I'm just saying. So something to think about and ask about. I'm not diagnosing, I'm not a clinician, I don't have the ability to do that. So we'll go ahead and pop these. Nice and easy. I got my coconut water and all my good stuff. You can hear me okay, right? I didn't even do a sound check. Let me make sure. Let me make sure y'all can hear me. I think so though, because somebody was commenting and talking back with me there for a little bit. There we go. Let's see. Let's hear. Yes, you can hear me. You can hear me. That is beautiful. That's so beautiful. So in the morning, I actually start my routine before I get out of bed, right? So I, do say my prayers, do some meditating in that before I get out of bed. And then I get up and I get straight to my personal care. Like, I don't know about you, but I got to brush my teeth first thing in the morning, right? I don't have it attached to the shop, but I use the No BS toothpaste tablets. Absolutely love those. I got a tongue scraper from them. So I use the tongue scraper. Also, shouldn't look white because I just scraped. I think that's just the video, but it's not that thick white candida looking stuff that I know for a fact, right? And so I do that. I showered and gotten dressed and did all my lotion and all that when you're doing that on camera, right? And so then from there, I tend to check emails and things like that. Review my plan for the day. I review what I have going on for the day. I need to know where I need to be and when. I actually also look at it the night before so I don't forget anything. Siri is my work wife. Siri tells me where to be. So if anybody ever requests an appointment with me or they want me to use their calendar link, they better have multiple notifications on there to remind me. Alerts, not just email alerts, because my email notifications are turned off on my phone. I cannot have all those notifications going off all day, every day. That would drive me crazy. My Facebook notifications are turned off on my phone. If I could find a way to turn off that red alert for Facebook, it would be turned off as well, right? I think that's the mistake a lot of people make with social media is it's my business. It's what I do. So there's no getting away from it, right? And so what I did it's been gosh, at least close to 10 years since I turned off my notifications, right? So on my phone, on my screen, there are no Facebook notifications, like those banner notifications or whatever that come up. My bank notifications, I know when I get paid, those show up, but Facebook, Instagram, any of those social media notifications are turned off because it's just, excuse me, entirely too much. If you've ever gone viral, which I have multiple times, it's too much. You just can't. It's cool. I'll tell you this. It's cool the first time it happens. It's cool for your phone. For your phone, you just set it down and it just buzzes nonstop. It's just buzzing, buzzing, buzzing. Right. That is very cool. I love that. Right. But when you're trying to get things done, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I also put my phone. It automatically goes onto do not disturb from 9 to 5 every day. There are only a handful of people that can get through do not disturb, and that's my children, my grandchildren, my parents, and siblings. That's it. And they know that they really should only reach me during that time for like emergencies or big things like family group chats and that. I have those on mute too. I just check them when I check them because I cannot. That's how people become out of balance and out of alignment because they're basically like enslaved to their phone because it's always going off and alerting them, and it's like we were talking about with alarm clocks yesterday. That's it just gets to be too much. It's overstimulating. It spells disaster, and I personally cannot do that. That just doesn't work for me. So all of those are turned off. So I do have to check at night where so I go to bed planting in my subconscious where I got to be and what I got to do the next day. And then when I get up in the morning, I'm also checking it again and that. So thank you, Purpose Penthouse. My girl is here. We're talking about how self-care can generate revenue because you got to take care of you. If you're not taking care of you, you're not going to want to show up for your business. You're going to actually despise your business and you don't want to do that. So we're talking about some of the things I do. Like I know you do this. I steam my face big time into steaming my face, right? You got to steam the face, get that hydration. That's how the glow comes from the inside out. Looks like did somebody send me a rose? Because I got a goal of 3 roses. So let's get those 3 roses going. Um, and, I know you've used the cleanser. I've got the cleanser on as a mask right now. It's a conditioning and hydrating mask. So it's emollient. So it really softens the skin. That is one of the compliments I have always gotten about my skin for my entire life is how soft my skin is. And I want to keep it that way. And so that's why I like using that conditioning mask to really keep the skin soft and supple with the conditioners and the hyaluronic acid as well. We went through. I take the Happy Saffron Plus. I take the GABA. This GABA 5-HTP, L-tryptophan, L-theanine, and ashwagandha in the morning, along with the gluco defend to fight those sugar cravings. Because did you know extra sugar, too much sugar, shows up in your skin? It makes your skin saggy. It makes it dull. It's called sugar face. You can Google it and look it up. You don't want sugar face. Sugar face will age you. I actually, a few years ago, was starting to see some signs of sugar face. And that's what really made me slow down on the Dr. Pepper, the red licorice, and stuff like that. And I noticed um, I had changed up my routine a little bit and I had stopped the glucodefen and I was starting to really get out of control with the sugar again. So we swapped that other stuff back out and brought glucodefen back for that reason. So I love berberine. Berberine is really good for helping balance your blood sugar levels and managing the cravings as well. So we've talked about, honestly, I'm gonna make my bed in the morning type person. As soon as I get out of my bed, I just make it. Okay. I'm not judging you if you don't, but for me, and not only just the way I was raised and the way I keep my home very clean, very orderly, very organized. Keisha says me too. Make sure you follow the Purpose Penthouse. I make my bed as soon as I get out of it every morning. And like I said, then I tend to my personal care. I've done my prayers and meditations from bed, and I actually do more later, but I get up and I tend to my personal care because I don't know about you, but I can't stand feeling yuck mouth. I absolutely cannot. And that's what I love about the no BS, the knobs, as y'all call it, toothpaste tablets, because it's I'm going to use the word oxidizing because it's very bubbling and your teeth just feel so clean after you use it, like so clean, right? And it's got a nice fresh minty taste. I love their mouthwash, the Swish. It's got such a sweet minty taste, and it has aloe in it, so it really hydrates your mouth. And I'm a mouth breather at night. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for becoming the number one gifter on my team, right? And because of that, I love being able to use that mouthwash in the morning and it hydrates. And I notice that I wake up with my mouth feeling less dry by using that mouthwash. So I don't have that attached to this video, but it is in my showcase if you want to check that out. Okay. So oh my God, my face is feeling so good with this cleanser and the steam. I got the towel warmer going. Have you seen this one, Keisha? With the towel warmer. The towel warmer is my favorite. I'm sure you've seen this because I've used this for years. Got the towel in there warming, my bamboo washcloth. I do not use those rough towels, as my grandma used to call them, or she would talk about clothes being rough dried. I like to use the soft bamboo. It's very gentle. The cleanser, very gentle, good for all skin types. Okay. And so once I've gotten out of bed, done my personal care, that's when I turn on like some praise and worship music, and I sit down, do a little bit more meditating, and I get to journaling, right? I plan out my day. I do my gratitude practice. I practice gratitude right in my planner, part of my planner. Every day it has a section on gratitude. Let me find a clean one because I don't like showing people what I write. Right. So this right here is where you gratitude. There are times when for a month I actually do like in a journal, a gratitude journal, 10 things I'm grateful for each and every single day. You would be amazed at what happens when you do that. Every day, write down what you are grateful for. Why? Because it attracts more of it to you. This is not in the shop. I ordered this directly through them. I have an affiliate link for them somewhere, so you can always ask me. Yes, 10 things you are grateful for, and every morning just being mindful and writing down what you are grateful for. That is how you attract more of it, right? So I will tell you, I have no problem saying I am grateful for my clients. I am grateful for the sales, because if I want more of those, I gotta be grateful for the ones that I have, right? And if you have clients that get on your nerves, instead of thinking about, oh, I don't want any more clients like that, think about what you want in a client. Think about the clients that you love working with and incorporate that into your gratitude practice. I love and am grateful for my clients who show up and do the work. I love clients who pay in full. I love clients who refer me to others, right? So you really hone in and focus on what it is about the clients that you work with that you want more of those, and incorporate that into your gratitude practice. Thank you. Keisha says that's so good. Focus on what you want. Yes. Spend a lot more time focusing on what you want versus what you don't want. And I'm not going to lie, that can sometimes be challenging for me because I can really get on what I don't like, right? Like stereotypical older Black woman, because my mama was like, is like that, where we just get really focused on what you don't like and what you don't want. And no, because you'll attract more of that. And so you get to the point where you course correct yourself. Like, no, we're not focusing on what we don't want. What do you want? I will stop and say that out loud to myself. But what do you want, Tamira? Okay, we know what you don't want. What do you want? And for the longest time, I used to struggle with what I actually wanted because I was so entrenched and focused on what I didn't want. And that I also was not happy, or as happy as I could be. I was not, really attracting as much of the things that I want. And now it's almost like I can just think about something and it shows up, right? I can it's to you get to that point, right? Where you just almost think of it and it shows up, and that's because you're in alignment. And my morning routine, my self-care routine are all about me being able to maintain that alignment. That is my number one revenue activity, is maintaining the appropriate frequency and vibration of what it is that I want. I'm going to say it again. My number one revenue generating activity is maintaining the frequency and vibration of what it is that I want. And then number two is taking inspired action toward whatever it is that I want, being willing to do my part. Sorry about that. I've been expecting a call from a client, and I could see that it looked like a call was coming in, but it wasn't him. So we will keep steaming and we will keep chatting. Yesterday, I don't know, it must be the camera angle. Yesterday, you could see so well the steam. It's got to steam. Love, love, love steaming. love to steam. Okay. So gratitude each and every day. It's not optional. I also on the weekends, no days off from gratitude. And it's not just confined to the morning, right? I also practice gratitude throughout the day, right? Like I love my apartment. Like I manifested this apartment. And some days, a lot of days, I just walk through and I just look at it and look at, my furniture and how everything is set up, and I just get amazed by it because I manifested it, and to see it in the 3D is such a blessing, and I just feel overwhelming gratitude for it, right? You have to if you want something, you have to I remember my great aunties and my grandma used to talk to me about this all the time, and it just was like they could miss me with that. They need to stop talking about that, right? And the older I get, the more and more I appreciate them staying on me about that, because gratitude truly, truly makes a difference. I'm sure the sound is still going. Yes. Okay. So I plan my day and gratitude in here. And at the end of the day, there is a section for you to reflect on wins for the day. I have found that is almost like another form of gratitude. Every day reflecting on what went well for the day, because so often what do? We focus on what we didn't get done. We focus on what we didn't do. We focus on what didn't happen that we wanted to happen. And again, by focusing on what went well, you are going to attract more of that. Okay. I don't do the shadow work journal every day, but as things come up and I need to get into the shadow work journal, I do. The shadow work journal is so, so key, right? I was once a 20 something year old, very angry, overly stimulated, young single mom trying to do the best she can to take care of her kids, build her career, and be a good daughter and be a good niece and be a good granddaughter. And as the oldest grandchild, the oldest daughter, the firstborn niece, it was often very stressful. And I was not always the nicest person. And certain things would just really trigger me. And as I've gotten older, I've really learned to examine those triggers, because those triggers are not anyone else's responsibility. They are mine. I had to come to the conclusion that yes, there are things that happened to me and and trauma, and there was nothing I could do to go back and change that. There was nothing I could do to control that. What I could do was, however, was examine why when certain things came up, I would feel the way that I would feel, and then figure out what I needed to do to not be triggered by those things. And so that's what I love about the shadow work journal, is that it helps you not only with affirmations in that, but like, how is your inner teenager showing up in your life? There's all these journal prompts that are in here that when things come up, you can find the appropriate journal prompt and you can write on them, right? EFT tapping, emotional freedom tapping, anxiety, right? Anxiety, right? I love EFT tapping, right? It's tapping on those acupressure points, the top of the head, above the eyebrow, under the eye, above the lip, the chin, the collarbone, and under the arm on the side, right? That is so powerful and it works. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. It works. It is so magnificent, right? And so the shadow work journal is not one that I do every day, but as I need to, if something is really bothering me, I dig into the shadow work journal, okay? The miracle journal. Let me tell you about this one. This is, I love the Miracle Journal. The Miracle Journal is incredible. First of all, the affirmations that are in here are incredible. My mind is worth millions is one of my favorite. Every penny I spend is returned to me tenfold. I get paid to exist. I don't work for money, money works for me. So there's like 4 or 5 pages of really powerful um, affirmations in here. There's more journaling in here. Things like doing a gratitude walk. Lots of room for notes, right? One of the favorite things I love in here is this monthly tracking where you, every month, you go through and you reflect on the month, right? What are you grateful for that happened this month? What were some of your favorite memories from this month? What did you learn this month? What is something that you wish you knew this month? Give some advice to yourself for next month. How will you rate this month? Fill it in, and there's hearts, right? Choose one affirmation for next month. What are you calling in next month and looking forward to? What are words you would use to describe this month? Who has played a major role in your life this month? So I love doing that monthly reflection with the miracle journal. And I can tell you, miracles have definitely, big and small, have been happening in my life since I have included this journal as part of my daily habits, right? And by daily, I mean even if only I do the affirmations from here, but I journal from this at least 2 to 3 times a week, right? And do things like scripting. Scripting works too, right? There's also the 369 method. I use this daily, and that is you're writing down your desires and your goals, right? And what actions you're going to take for the day. It's time for me to order a new one. They did send me this as a sample. So this is you write it down 3 times in the morning, 3 times midday, and 3 times in the afternoon. And let me tell you, there's magic in writing it down, right? And at the beginning, there is, information on what it is, why it works, and how to use it. And there's also affirmations in here. And one of the things I love is at the end of each week, there is reflections again, right? And an affirmation to open up the new week. So the weekly affirmation: what were my top achievements from last week? How did taking action towards my goals feel? What did not happen? What actions can I take to improve? Did I fully enjoy what I was doing? How can I be more present? If you want to get in tune with your star player, as Cat Williams once said, this is the way to do it, right? This is the way to do it. Now, for some of you, if you're working a traditional job, I'm not telling you got to do everything that's in my routine. I'm not telling you that. What I'm going to tell you is, even when I worked in corporate America, one of the things I learned was I had to get up a little earlier to set my mind for the day. That's what this is all about. It's about setting my mind for the day. And one of the things I wanted once I had no children at home and I was out of corporate America was to be able to ease into my day, to have a slow morning and not these hectic, chaotic mornings that had gone on for years. Okay. I wanted slower mornings. I wanted to be able to ease into my morning and really be able to manage my mood, energy, frequency, whatever you want to call it, right? And so that is why I have the morning routine that I have, because things like gratitude and reflection are super duper important to you achieving your goals, your dreams, and your desires, right? Because it's one thing to know that stating your affirmations 3 times a day is good, but if you don't put that time in your calendar and make it part of your routine, it's not going to happen. Yes, my girl Portia says yes, very important, right? So the I'll tell you a story from corporate America. I switched locations and teams, and I was at a location where it was like from the moment you got in until you left, it was just pure chaos, right? Because it was a very busy, highly trafficked location. And, that was one of the things I talked to my boss about. Is like, I don't get to come in and have 20, 30 minutes, even before I'm scheduled, to just come in and ease into it. I come in and I'm immediately thrown into it. And there's like not really a lot of reprieve throughout the day. And I became to understand that under that current leadership for the market, That was by design. And it wasn't just me. They purposely didn't want us to have time to get in tune with our star player, right? It goes back to being emotionally regulated and your nervous system being regulated. And the more they can keep that dysregulated, the more they can control you because it impairs your decision making. Portia says, "This is what we are practicing in the Wake Up and Win." Oh, you know what? I forgot to sign up for that. I wanted to be in on that. So if not, let me know when you're going to do it again because I forget what happened, but I know I said I was going to sign up for that and I was looking forward to signing up for it, but life just happens. Yes, I talked about that every morning. Gratitude is one of the first things I do as part of my daily practice. It's built into the planner that I use. It's the first thing on the planner is spending 20 minutes in gratitude, just writing down what you are thankful for. I also, because I'm focusing on the miracle journal, I'm not doing it this quarter, but I have bought gratitude journals where every day, sometimes I would do pages. I'm not even going to lie, not just one page. I would do 2 or 3 pages of what I am grateful for. And there is nothing too small or insignificant to be grateful for. There are times when it feels like death is everywhere. Like there's nothing but people dying. And I will just stop and just be grateful. I opened my eyes this morning. I have full use of my limbs, right? I have my full faculties. I have full cognition, right? I was talking to one of my best friends from high school and her first cousin, who's not but a few years older than us, around the same age as us, is already going through dementia, right? So just being grateful for things like that. I do a lot around my health, right? I was in some dangerous zones as far as certain numbers of my health, and not only by taking inspired action and fixing them, but just being grateful for my health, and my numbers turned around and were as good as my early 30s, right? So gratitude is very, very powerful. Gratitude is non-negotiable. And I don't just do it in the morning. Like I said, usually again around lunch and before I go to bed, I'm practicing gratitude again. There are times when I walk through here and I'm just like, I just look and I'm like, wow, I'm really grateful for where I've come from. I'm really grateful for what I have achieved in manifesting this place, and everything that is in here, I manifested. Like I dreamed it up, I sat down, I scripted, I wrote it out, and I was grateful for it before it showed up. I was grateful as if it had already happened. That's part of my journaling. That's part of my scripting, is being grateful as if it has already happened. Being grateful for what I already have, but also being grateful for what I desire as if it has already happened. And Portia will tell you, she said it, gratitude is magic. Gratitude is it is the magic. It makes a big difference, feeling like you have it now and that you are already grateful for it. 2019, we were taking on my dream board since 2018, probably before that, I think probably since he was born, was to take my grandson to Disney World. Well, it happened in May of 2019, and it was, I made videos of, what our trip was going to look like, and I practiced gratitude around it, and it happened because I manifested it, because it was on my dream board. Even his mom, my kids, that back when I was in college, there used to be these commercials. Michael Jordan, now that you've won the NBA championship, what are you going to do? And go to Disney World, right? And I was the first person in my family to get a 4-year college degree. And I would imagine that, Tamira Hamilton, now that you've graduated college, what are you going to do? I'm taking my daughter to Disney World. Do you know my first job out of college, what I was doing? I was working with Disney World and Universal Studios on vacation packages. And not only did I take my kids to Disney, I would be in Florida, in Orlando on a business trip, and I might use this pass that they gave me for free, where me and 3 other people could get into Disney for free, and free parking 365 days out of the year. And I might go in and just ride a roller coaster. I might just go in and get, a treat that I wanted and leave. I manifested that. I manifested that, right? And so that's why I wanted to take my grandson to Disney World, right? So um the only reason I haven't taken my granddaughter to Disney World is because they went without me, but I would have went, right? So whatever you want, whatever you desire, you can have, but it starts with gratitude for what you do have. You can't despise where you're at now and get what you want. And that was a hard one for me when I was still working in corporate America because I wanted out, right? I did not want to be showing up at them people's job. And I had to be grateful and be a good steward over that job in order to be freed from it. And that's literally how it happened. That's literally how it happened. Is I had to be grateful and show up and do what I was supposed to do and, give them their time from 9 to 5, and from 5 to 9 I built my business and I freed myself that way, even when they tried to get slick. And I was like, okay, because there was this has to be more than that makeup thing. Like, no, it's not. Because it's not just the makeup. It's not just the makeup. You forgot who you hired. I am full on over 20 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience, and I'm selling it. I'm selling it, right? And that's what I do. I help women who are stuck in corporate, who are stuck in corporate America or feel stuck in corporate America, because you're never stuck, but it feels like you're stuck. I felt stuck because I was a single mom and I was financially responsible for my kids, right? And, I didn't want them to suffer or go without, because that's a lot of pressure when everything is on you. By the way, when you're first generation college, you likely got family members who always got their hand out and always expecting things and in your pocket calculating, and you got to set them straight, right? And so there's all this pressure, and I was afraid. I was, the unknown, and I knew I was working for one of the biggest and the best at what they do, and there was just a lot of fear, right? And so that's who I help, is the woman who is where I was 10, 12, 15 years ago, whether she's a single mom or not. Now I do have a special place in my heart for the single mamas, because that's my roots, right? So I'm gonna get this towel out of the towel warmer and wash what you probably think is an invisible mask off of my face. Oh, it's hot. It is hot, hot, hot. Turn this off. This is the steamer again. I just took the towel warmer out of the warmer, and it's right here. You can see the steam coming off of it. Hot. And it's wetter than when I put it in there, right? Because it steams and it gets damp. I have an extra towel just to hold it. I usually use tongs and just kind of wave it around a little bit. So that's who I help. I help the mom who is where I was back then, because you are not stuck. It feels like you're stuck. And I remember that stuck feeling very, very well. Oh, it feels so good when you use this. You want to make sure you get that off of your face because of the hyaluronic acid that is in there, okay? Which is very lubricating. But you don't want that on there, because if you leave it on and you don't take it off and have the correct moisture, it will make your skin itch. It will make you very itchy. And for some people, it will make them break out. So you want to use the wet towel. I should have waited to do this because, I do have some serum over here that I can put on next. Okay. Mm. And when it's warm like that, it just feels so, so good. I like to really press it in, press the ingredients in. So, got some serum over here. This, put that on next. And you want to kind of pat that in. Pat that in. You have to take care of yourself, right? Now, I started out online in beauty. So I have sold hundreds of thousands of dollars in beauty products over the year. So when I say self care generates revenue, it's kind of like multi layered, right? Because I do believe in getting paid to exist. Whatever it is that you do and are good at, you should be monetizing that. And that's what I help my clients with. Because so often they want to start something that they've never done before. And I believe in self funding, right? I believe in being self funded. So, how do you self fund? You self fund by monetizing something that you already know, have a reputation for, and are good at, right? Because especially when it comes to coaching and consulting, that's going to be your quickest hit, because otherwise you've got to wait and learn. You've got to wait and get certified, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Like my girl Portia, I think she's still on here. She helps people get licensed and certified for specimen collector. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if that's something you want to do, you can create a digital product around something that you know for very little to no cost and create the money to be able to pay for her specimen course. And while you're studying for that, you can still monetize what it is that you already know, and it can be out there working for you 24/7, 365 while you're studying. So you are still generating income while you are studying. Is Portia still here? No, she's gone. So that is something you want to know. You know, we one of the biggest transitions from corporate is understanding that you can make money multiple ways, and you can have multiple ways making money for you at the same time, right? This trading time for money is the slowest way to do it. It's the slowest way to do it. So if you want to speed it up, you want to have multiple streams of income coming in, right? So to say like I'm an online marketer is very superficial. It just brushes over it. Okay. Yeah, I'm an online marketer, but I have courses and workshops and digital products. I have clients, right? I have affiliate links. So I do all of these things. And in a given night, I can have money coming in from multiple places in a given day. But my favorite is when I wake up and I've made sales. My favorite is when I wake up and there are people who have opted in and joined my lead list, right? So it's about creating this business that I don't have to be in 24/7, 365, right? I can get on live and do my skincare and generate income that way. I can get on live and just talk and generate income and clients that way, right? I can generate referrals and leads that way. Okay. My content works for me 24/7, 365. And not just social media platforms. I have my own blog. I've had TamiraHamilton.com since 2013, right? Because you have to have your own digital real estate that you own. Oh my God, my skin feels so good. It's so soft. You see that pushback? I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So, your self care absolutely can generate revenue. And over and beyond that, just know that by taking care of yourself and not allowing yourself to get burned out, you are not only able to show up for your business, for your clients, for yourself, you're able to show up at your highest and peak self and not the lower burned out version of yourself. And by showing up as the higher peak state version of yourself, you attract better, higher peak state clients. Whereas when you're at your lower peak state, you're going to attract the lower peak state clients. And that's one of the things in the Miracle Journal is the frequency chart, right? So you can see the frequency chart, and this is when you're in your lower peak state. You feel guilt, right? I felt a lot of guilt as a single mom with kids and having to work all those hours. and wanting to be with them instead of working. You might feel jealousy of the coworker who got the promotion that you deserved, right? Anxiety, sadness, despair, hatred, fear. Those are lower energy. And if you are running a business, you might feel jealousy that someone else is there and you're not there yet. Okay. And so when you take care of yourself, you're going to feel more unconditional love, more authenticity, more peace, more joy, more gratitude. And you're going to attract that to you in terms of projects, your clients, and income opportunities, and just opportunities overall, right? I am often asked to be a podcast speaker, a podcast guest, a summit speaker. Do you think it's from when I'm down here that attracts those opportunities to me? No, it's when I'm up here. And that is why I say your number one revenue generating activity is managing this, keeping yourself up here as much as possible. Yeah, I would be lying to you if I said you're never going to go down here. But when you're down here, your job is to be aware and manage it and get yourself back up. Get yourself back up. Okay. So I may come back live later. I am going to go have breakfast because I have not had my breakfast yet. And proper nutrition is how we take care of ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves, right? So, just to run through what's in the cart, the steamer with the towel warmer is in the cart. I didn't bring it out, but it does come with some tools that I wouldn't dare use on my face because I'm not an esthetician. Okay. I also have here, and we took my supplements. We took the glucodefend, which is going to help manage blood sugar. Because if you don't have your health, you don't have a business. I'm going to just keep it real with you, right? Calm again. There's a lot being thrown at us all the time. So this is how I help regulate my emotions and my nervous system with the Calm Again, which has GABA, 5-HTP, L-tryptophan, L-theanine, and ashwagandha. Plus, if you're in perimenopause and menopause, these are things that may be coming up for you. um, Perimenopause and menopause, the happy saffron, which is 3-in-1: mood, memory, and sexual function. The miracle journal, that will always be in my cart. The shadow work journal. I know at one point when you bought the first edition, you got the second edition free. And the 369 journal, 369, one more time. Get low, get low, get low, get low. Okay. So I am going to put on some lip gloss and then I'm going to go. I will see y'all later. If you are not following, make sure you follow. We talk all things marketing, mindset, mentoring, and monetization. I'm actually going to throw on some personal development while I eat breakfast and listen to my homeboy, Kevin Trudeau, again. This is how you know the hyaluronic acid is working, because my lips are plumped up and red looking. Because I have not done anything to them. I just put on some clear lip gloss and look at my lips. That's from the hyaluronic acid from using the cleanser as a mask and using the warm towel. So I'm going to get all that cleaned up, get my Kevin Trudeau on, and I have some Zooms actually in about 45 minutes. So yeah, I got to go so I can have breakfast, and I will chat with you later. Make sure if you're not following, you click up there and follow. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you later. Bye-bye.